We are here with Travis Young of JY Power, and Travis, tell us what you do here.
I own and operate a lithium battery and power systems company. I do most of the engineering and process development, and then implementing those processes to my team, both inside and outside of the building.
Think about your best employees for a second. Uh, Describe their attitude. What did they have in common? And what set them apart from the crowd?
So, I mean, two people stick out for me, and that is Greg and Hunter. uh, Greg Corbin and Hunter Martin. What stuck out the most is eagerness to learn and kind of malleability. Uh, you know, they were a fresh slate, and I was able to build in them what I wanted an employee to know and kind of act like and become. So, uh, to a lesser degree, realistically, kind of the opposite of myself. That strong will and that determination and that stuckness. I remember Hunter. We were working a night like that one time, and it was a slam crunch, and Hunter broke down and was like, "This is way too much work. We've been going at this way too long." And I looked at him, and it was kind of shocking me because I was just like, "What are you talking about? I'm fine. We have like 3 more days left. We gotta keep going." um, so there, but willingness to listen, willingness to learn new things, willingness to follow through with a plan that they may disagree with, and may not see the end of, uh, and then become happily surprised. You know, um, Hunter didn't know what he was building in Bully Goat until about halfway through. He didn't understand and see that that was gonna turn into a sixth order. Um, and to me, it was like so obvious, and like I basically have a CAD computer in my brain, and I can see projects, and I can see numbers and projects and products, and even kind of like pull them apart and dissect them like I do in a CAD program. But never did he have that, and I don't think Greg has that either.
Okay. How did you continually motivate them to the point where they would, in fact, continue with the plan? Was it
I
what years?
didn't.
No.
That's part of the malleability and trust.
Okay. Okay.
So and I guess this should be prefaced with, um, both of these people, by the time they got to these positions, because nobody gets to a position that close to me quickly. Um, and I'm talking years and years, and you've kind of seen that bore out through our relationship too, as it took years for things to kind of pop up and surface. But um, me and Hunter actually started off hating each other, and he didn't believe in my product. He didn't believe in the batteries, and we argued and we debated. And as we kept arguing and as we kept debating, the stuff I was saying made more and more and more sense to him. And then I sent him a battery, and it whooped the living shit out of what he was using. And he kind of saw the light. And at that point, I had gained Hunter's trust. And that's what a lot of that is about. And good employees trust their bosses. And I'm not saying that like all employees should trust their bosses, because some employees' bosses are shitheads. And a lot of times there's middle management there in between that causes a lot of strife. Because those are just more employees. Middle management is never, what the owners are. I mean, and look at the board and look at Steve. Night and day difference in who they are as people, how they operate as people. Um, Middle management is almost kind of its own breed versus a worker, honestly. And to be a manager is to separate yourself away from the workers and everything. And managers, a lot of the times in my experience, which I don't have that much experience in the normal workforce, but a lot of them talk in I's and possessive terms, where owners tend to talk and people that care about their employees and everything also talk in we's.
Okay. Well,
And because there's a concerted team effort, and the owner knows that without all those other pieces of the puzzle operating in the ways they need to operate, then they could never do all that work by themselves, and they could never be where they're at by themselves. And if they have good employees and they have attracted a good employees through either pay or work culture, work culture is another kind of big bonus with me because I'm pretty open with time off and hours needing to be worked and a lot of things like that. We do kind of surprise bonuses for people when things are going well. So workplace culture, especially where we kind of cut out any amount of drama and negativity, keeping that away from the business. If it's not solvable, always try and solve it. But if it becomes a repetitive problem that over years cannot be solved, then it has to be kind of removed from the situation. So,
okay. As a manager, which is more important to you, high intelligence or positive attitude?
positive attitude.
Okay. Why is that?
Because, and I take this with a grain of salt, how I'm saying this, stupid people still are able to learn the same thing smart people are able to learn. It just takes them longer.
Okay.
And you can't stick through it if you have a negative attitude and you're kind of throwing off the vibe. Other people don't want to learn when they're angry and they're upset, and it's very hard to get somebody to learn when they're angry and upset. It's very easy to get happy and excited people to learn. So,
okay. Can you give me an example of somebody you thought that was extraordinarily committed to the job? What made them stand out?
Definitely Hunter, much more so than Greg, but Hunter was very committed to the idea of the company and the kind of goals of what I set forth for everyone, and why beyond faith, I can't explain exactly, what drove him to do that other than belief in kind of what we were doing. So, it might be hard to get behind being extremely dedicated to like McDonald's for $10 an hour. Not even because like cooking food is a bad job or should be shunned upon, but your own growth and kind of what impact you have as a person is pretty low there. You might make somebody's day by getting them a good cup of coffee, but you probably aren't going to be the highlight of their day.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, everybody wants to feel like their job is important, I feel like.
Pay notwithstanding, what factors in the workplace make an employee quit? What can be done to save that employee?
So, realistically, there's going to be things that the employee over time is going to want changed, and they're going to want to feel, again, not feeling important. Like when, because Hunter actually left us, and what kind of led up to that was we had kind of changed positions from making our own product to having it made for us. And even though, because he still was getting paid every month, but I didn't have a whole lot of work for him. And it didn't, to him, look like we were going to have more work. And that, so when he got an offer to go somewhere else and get paid a little bit more and be doing things, or at least he told me he would be doing things, he jumped on it. He had kind of lost his faith in the company. He had lost his faith in me and like the mission statement and the goal. And, I felt it coming, but I didn't at the time know what to do. And we have since pivoted from that, went back to making our own products. And yeah, basically, I mean, not feeling heard, not feeling appreciated, not having meaningful things to do in the workplace, and not feeling like the workplace is going in the direction that they want it to.
That's, what people managing skills would you say have served you best over time?
Empathy that is also backed with the experience of managing people, because there is a point where you are over empathetic with your employees, and the company gets taken advantage of because of that, and there is a point where you are under empathetic to your employees and it harms their relationship with the company and kind of dehumanizes the company. Even in big business, I think this is seen. Like Amazon over time has become more and more open to its workers. Walmart used to be abysmal to kind of work for, kind of just right above minimum wage. And they would teach their employees how to get the most out of the welfare system instead of just paying their employees more. Like if your employees are worried about their lights, being turned off at the end of the day, you're not going to get very good work value out of them. So, and it's not just pay, but it's time off. It's the working hours that they have. It's the training that they have. It's the people that they work under. It's a lot of those things.
All right, man. Well, that's what I need. Thanks a lot.